So first things first, you need to start off by making a good cup of coffee. This is just my preference, or tea or anything, just to chill and relax before you start backtesting. So just get something to drink, because backtesting or testing your strategy does take a bit of time. So firstly, I'm gonna make me a cup of coffee and then we're gonna get started. What's up, traders, and welcome to another YouTube video. I know I haven't posted a YouTube video in probably like a year, but I'm super excited to get this channel kick-started again and to really bring you guys value that I've never, shared before. So the past year has been hectic. Me and my wife have actually moved basically across the country of South Africa to another part of South Africa, because the past year I've been trading full-time. So, I used to work in sales and like corporate sales for BMW. And finally, a year ago, I went full time with trading on an 8-year journey. So in this video today, I want to show you guys how to test a trading strategy and exactly the way that I test it. And I want to show you how you can test it in the same way. Now, a lot of people on YouTube and on the internet that are trading, a lot of them say they don't believe in backtesting, they don't believe in testing a strategy. But to me, it does not make any sense what they're saying, because do you want to test a strategy over a year in the live market? It's going to take you an entire year to test that strategy. Or do you want to go and backtest that strategy and it takes you maybe a week or 2 weeks or whatever, or a month, and and you can go and test an entire year of data and you would know if it is profitable or not, because now you're going to waste a year of your time and life to see if a strategy is actually profitable. And I know that your results on testing a strategy and back testing is not exactly the same as trading the live market. And the reason being is because when you back test the strategy, you are trading that strategy without any emotion. But when you're in the live market, there's emotion. We have events that happen in life, like we get busy, or you go through different periods in your life where maybe you're not always on the charts and you miss trades. When on backtesting, you don't miss trades because you always you're basically going bar by bar through the charts. So I'm going to show you which software I use. I use the replay tool on TradingView, and then I also have a spreadsheet that you can download at the bottom of this video. This is exactly the same spreadsheet that I use, and you can go throughout this video, you'll see how I use that spreadsheet, and you can utilize the spreadsheet, and I'll show you how to download it. You basically just click on file and make a copy, and you'll be able to download this spreadsheet. So then you can track your trades like that. There's many ways to track your trades. You can track it through Notion, you can track it through, writing it in a book if you really want to go old school, or you can track it through a spreadsheet. So I like doing it through Sheets on Google, and it's been working for me. And of course, when you make a copy of the spreadsheet, you can always add columns, remove columns. You can change it to suit you, but this is the way that I do it. So enjoy the video, and you'll see how I backtest. I'm going to backtest 2024 July. It was a very active month for me, where I saw a lot of different setups form. So that's the month I'm choosing to backtest. There will be more backtesting videos when I'm going to backtest other months, but this is a cool month to backtest. So I'm going to take you through every step of the way how I backtest July 2024 with the way that I trade. And yeah, enjoy the video. Okay, so let's get started. So as I said, I use Google Sheets. So you basically just need Google Chrome on your computer, and then you would go down on this, like these dots, and then click on Sheets. So I've already done that. If you clicked on Sheets, then basically it'll open on your Sheets tab. But on the link that's posted below this video, when you click on that, it will then open onto this document. If you then want to make a copy of this document, you would then have to click on File and click on Make a Copy. When you click on Make a Copy, it's going to basically give you wording, what do you want to call it, and then you can just call it whatever you want to call it. So this is how the document looks. And if you do not make a copy, you are basically going to edit or how can I say, you won't be able to edit the version of the sheets document. So yeah, so this is how you would be able to get access to the sheet. And you'll see on my sheet, it has the date that I entered the trade, the time I got out of the trade, in the trade, the time I got out of the trade, the pair I'm trading, the setup I'm looking for, the risk percentage, the stop loss, take profit, the pips, basically the stop loss and take profit in pips, the screenshot of the trade, any comments I have on the trade, percentage gain, and if it's a win or a loss. So you'll see it's very cool because there's drop downs on everything. So the pairs that I trade, the setups, the stop losses, and also win or loss. And then on the right and at the bottom right, you'll see it says statistics. So here you can select the pair that you're trading, the year you are backtesting, for example, or testing the strategy. I don't know why that says percentage, but there, and then this is your total profit. So whatever total profit you have over here, it will automatically calculate there. But your monthly profit, you're going to have to put that in manually, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So anyway, let's get started with the backtesting and go to the charts. The platform I use to do my backtesting is called TradingView. So all of you probably know TradingView. Now, TradingView is probably the most commonly used charting platform around the world. That offer access to, like indices, stocks, crypto, futures, Forex, everything you can think of is offered on TradingView. So this is my charting platform, and this is also where I basically backtest the charts. So let me quickly show you how I backtest. So okay, so as you can see, I am on my chart on AUD USD or the Aussie dollar, and I want to now show you how you use the go to tool at the bottom of the screen. So you'll see here it says go to. So when you click on this, you can type in the date you want to go back to in time. So I want to go to the 1st of July 2024. So I'll just click on go to, and you'll see it takes me back to then. Then if I want to start testing my strategy, I basically want to remove all the data going forward. So, you want to go through it bar by bar. And TradingView has this feature called the bar replay tool. So at the top, you'll see it as a replay button that says bar replay. So as soon as you click on that, I can then go over here and click there. You'll see it then erases everything going forward. So they have a new update where they have this replay on your screen permanently, which I do not like so much, but it's a very cool platform to use to test the strategy. So I have to be okay with that. But anyway, so let's get started. Now, after I remove my bar, how can I say, my bars going forward and use the replay tool. Now, unfortunately, with TradingView, you have to pay for this feature. You need to be on, even if it's the lowest paid plan, then you get access to the bar replay tool. And there's many other features you get access to. So if you'd like to, use the bar replay tool, it's very affordable, but I have a discount link at the bottom of this video. If you click on that link, you will get basically a small discount when you purchase one of your paid TradingView plans. So anyway, let's get started with the backtesting or testing our strategy. So I'm not going to talk much throughout the video. It's going to be basically fast forwarded until I see a setup. Then I might just quickly talk over it and show you how I track it on my journal, on my backtesting journal, and then we carry on with the video. So yeah. So this trade I took, but it's one of my a setup that I call a leopard setup. But I just realized after taking the trade, it's NFP, and one of my rules are that I do not trade on NFP at all. As you can see, it's Friday, the 5th of July. So on NFP day, I do not look at taking any trades, and I teach that at my community as well. So I mistakenly just went through price, and I took this trade, and then I saw this double wick form all of a sudden. And I was like, why did that happen? And then I looked at the date, and then I realized this NFP. So let's carry on. This is a no trade for me because I don't trade on that day at all. So it's very important when you're back testing your strategies and you have your rules set in place before the time, that you just make sure you look at the time and date as well, because you can easily just forget about that going through bar by bar. So let's carry on. So this is definitely one of the setups I'd look at taking, and this is called a leopard setup. So this is a very high probability trade for me, and it's breaking out of this area, showing me that there's a lot of liquidity there, and this is basically my entry signal, and this is where I've placed my order. So I have a fixed stop loss and a fixed take profit. So the leopard is usually 1 to 3 trade for me. So let's see how this plays out. If it's a loss, it's a 1% loss. Unfortunately, that did not work out. So I want to show you now how I would track this trade. So, I would click on the escape button and I would copy my link. So this is a link to the trading setup. And it basically takes an image of this trade. And when you go to your spreadsheet, basically, you can then just paste it there. And whenever you click on that link, it will just open as an image to that trade. So let's say I go back to the chart. I then look at the entry time and date. So it's the 16th of July at 6 in the morning. So I'll then put in 16th of July, 6 in the morning. So it's been a very slow month so far. Through the backtesting, you can see up to now there has not been a lot of trading setups, but that's why a person can see that you need to be patient in the market. So at 16 July, 6 o'clock, the time it took me out was the next hour, so let's say 7 o'clock. So I got taken out. The P is AU. The setup is a leopard setup. I always risk 1%. It's a 10 pip stop. Took a loss of minus 10 pips. And comments, I would just put in the reasons that I take this trade. So I'm not going to give too many reasons. And I'm just going to say high probability leopard setup. It's not exactly how I do it. I just want to give you guys an idea. So ranging high probability leopard setup and fit my plan. And yeah, that's basically just a few things I would just want to say. And the percentage gain was -1. So I'll then say this was sorry about this. So this was a loss. So perfect. So there's my setup. There is the data that I collected. And let's carry on with the back testing. So this is another one of my high probability leopard setups. So I can see the market was very descending, and it moved into basically a sort of ascending nature, but not really showing me any momentum to the downside. So I saw a nice entry for the leopard over here. And let me just quickly put my visual order to the back. So let's see how this trade plays out, I'm just following my plan and I'm just putting up the setups that I would take in the live market. So let's see. So the market almost went to TP and then just started ranging around. Very long, but can I say, at the end of the day, it hit take profit. So this was really a very long trade. I entered it on the 17th of July. On the 18th, it hit take profit. So I look at the dates. There's no NFP. There's no high news releases that would bother me. So this was a very nice trade for me. So then, once again, click on that camera, click on copy link. As soon as it's copied, go to my spreadsheet. click paste, and then I start filling in the data. So firstly, I can see 17th of July, 1300 hours I entered, and 18th of July, 2000 hours I was taken out. So say the 17th of July I got into the trade. I just want to see, and then the timeout was 2000 on the 18th. So let's quickly just say 1300 hours, and then the time I got taken out was 2000 hours on the following day. But you can see that on the screenshot, so I don't put the date out, but if you want to do that, you can always add a column for that, just to show you the duration of the trade. The pair was AU, the setup was a leopard, risk was always 1%, 10 pips, TP got hit on 30 pips. This was a 3% trade for me, and then basically I'm just going to say the very similar reasons to this. So I'm just going to paste those reasons over there to not make the video too long. And yeah, so basically this was a winning trade. So let's go back. Okay, so now after the take profit got hit, I don't want to just mark out my new low and high. So let me just quickly do that. I can see the market moved in more, how can I say, from a ranging phase into more of an, like there's a nice impulse and it shows nice momentum to the downside. So I just want to see how the market reacts off of this area. Made another low, small retrace. This basically gives me a line for one of our setups I call a lion setup. So I just want to quickly see how this how I mark this out. I just want to see the time as well. So that's off the spread hours for me. So this is a setup I would take, which is called a lion setup. You know, the market is more impulsive and it shows that it has a bit of momentum to the downside. So let me just quickly see here. You can see the market had this ascending nature. It was range bound, broke out of this, and then gave a very tight, very nice line setup for me to take. So this is like a flag type of setup, and this is my entry. So let me just put my visual order to the back. Let's see how this trade plays out. So we then broke the low. So this would be my new low. This would be my new high. And let's play through price. So we then broke the low again. So there's my new low. This is my new high. This gives me an opportunity to reduce risk on this trade. So I had a 12 pip stop of 1%. I would now have basically 3.9 pip stop. So I like trailing at about 2 pips above that. So this would be, let's say, 5.9. So we're risking about 0.5% at this moment. So because this is a trending trade, I like to trail my stop loss all the way as it keeps breaking price and retracing. So there's my new low, this is my new high. And now I finally get an opportunity, to reduce some risk. So my profit level is now 4.6. So we have some locked in profit of 0.78%. Very happy with that. But let's carry on going through price. Let's see, this is over a weekend. So over the weekend, price would have basically taken me out for, let's say, a one. So let's say total profit 5.7. I would probably have closed this trade anyway late on a Friday afternoon, for example, let's say around 8-9 o'clock. So I don't like holding trades over weekends anyway. That's why I'm saying very important to check when it is weekend. So let's go to, what time was it? It's around 8 o'clock I would have closed this trade. Around there. So it would have been a 2.49% trade for me. Let's quickly see. I entered this trade at on the 19th of July at 1 o'clock. So 19th July, 1 o'clock. My time out, the time the trade closed it, 22nd of July, let's say 10 o'clock. The pair I was trading is AU. Setup I took is a lion. My risk is 1%. Stop loss is 12. It took me out for, I closed the trade at, let's say, 14 point, let's just say 14 pips. My screenshot from TradingView, I would then take. I'd paste it over there. And on this, my description is a bit different. So impulse, I'd say showed momentum. Say nice line setup. And just happy with the trade. And I'd also say closed before market close on Friday. Perfect. My gain was 2.49, let's just say 2.45% with, let's say there's some spread, and it was a winning trade. So let's carry on. So we can see the market opened with a huge gap after the weekend, and then the market just continued to the downside. So let me keep on playing through price. Let's take a quick break throughout the backtesting. If you haven't liked and subscribed to my channel, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. It just helps me grow the channel to give more value, and that's the whole goal of the Sheldon Trading channel. So please make sure you like this video and subscribe, and let's get back into the backtesting. So here's another very nice line setup for me. So I'm just going to quickly place my order, just put my stop loss correctly, and let's see, because the market is definitely now in a sort of a trending phase. So I'm definitely looking for trending setups. And this is one of the setups I'm looking for. So you can see we got a nice break of the low. I'm trading my stop loss. We have a reduced risk of just above that high. So let's quickly see how that looks. Let's see, my stop loss would then be, say, 21 ticks. So yeah, so we have a reduced risk stop loss at the moment. So let's carry on playing through price. So as we can see, we broke again to the downside. Here's my high. So I'm going to put this back on 12, so I just can see how much I am in profit at the moment. Profit level would be 10 or 100 ticks basically. So 0.83% is now locked in on this position, and I'm just going to keep on trailing my stop loss basically. So broke the low again and again. So there's our new low, our high. So let's quickly put this around there. My profit level is now 22.8. So we locked in at 1.9% profit. So now I'm just basically following the trend. So let's see, we got another strong move to the downside, another impulse showing us that the market is still in a trending phase. So let's see what happens next. We got another nice break of this area and a retrace and another break. So that would be my area that I would lock in profit on this inside bar candle. So my profit level would be 2 pips above that. So let's say 57.3. So we can easily get taken out over here at 4.8%, or the market can continue. So the market then decides it wants to continue, breaks the low, retraces, breaks the low, retraces. So this would be my new area. I would then place my profit level over there, 70 pips. You can see we are now locked in at 5.83%, and the market just seems to continue going to the downside. Just want to see this low. This low is this candle is a retrace candle, so you can always look at the high. So when you hover over a candle, it shows the high, the low, and the center of the candle. So this would be my high, and I'd be able to lock in some more profit over there. So we'd be in a profit of 83.7 pips. So that's locked in at 6.98%. So if the market decides it wants to take me out, it can take me out. If it decides it wants to continue, it can continue, and I'll just keep on locking in some profits. So you can see we broke and retraced, and we broke and retraced again. So this is my new high area. My profit level would now be 97. So we are now locked in at 8% profit. So let's see what the market does next. The market then broke the lows again in a retrace. So that was our retrace candle. And we would have been taken out over here because there was a retrace and this candle would have taken me out. So let's quickly see 113. So it'd be 111.7. And I'd be taken at 9.3% for this position. So very good trade, very happy with it. And you can see how this trend just basically built momentum and just continued all the way down. So I would now want to take a screenshot of this trade so I can just remember it. So I'll copy the link. I'll then paste it over there. And then I'll start tracking it like the other trade. So I'll just say 22nd of July. I enter this trade at 8 o'clock. So let's say 22nd of July. 8 o'clock. And I think I'm just going to add the date here for the spreadsheet when you download it. But I don't usually put that, but I just think for, it would just make the spreadsheet a bit better just to add the date. So you can just know how long you were in this trade. So 25th of July, 1400 hours. I'll just put 1400 hours, but I know that I need to just add another column for date closed. So I'll do that just to improve the spreadsheet for you guys. And then the setup was a line risking 1%, 12 pip stop. I take profit. I got taken out at 100 and let's say 11 pips. And then there's my screenshot. The gain was 9.3%. Let's just say 9.2 just for spread and commissions. Just for safety, it was a winning trade. And I'm just going to say, I'm going to use these same reasons, but of course there can be more reasons, but I just want to remove that. For example, close on before market close on Friday, but I'm happy with the trade. And yeah, so you just put your reasons in there that you felt during that trade, or the reasons you took the trade, or however you want to do that. So let's carry on with the backtesting. Let's complete the month quickly. Another nice leopard setup form in this area. So I'm going to place my entry there. Just want to get this correct because I can see it's not correctly there. My stop loss again. So we've got a nice break there. Very nice setup for me. We went from this trending phase into more of a ranging phase. So we can see if this worked out. Unfortunately, this was a losing trade. So then I would then type in copy link. Paste my link over there. The date of the trade, 26th of July, it's 12 o'clock. So 26, 12 o'clock. Timeout, I got taken out at, let's say, 1500 hours. That's about the US Open in South African time. AU, leopard, 1%, 10 pips stop. Got taken out for 10 pips, minus 1%. It was a losing trade. And I'm just going to use the same rules just for now. And let's carry on with the backtesting so that I don't make this video too long, but I want to give you an idea of how I do this. Okay, so that's the end of the month of July. I think I went a little bit quickly, but I just wanted to give you an idea of how I backtest one of my strategies. And on the spreadsheet, I just want to show you so you can see that we had 5 trades for the month, 3 wins, 2 losses. So on the bottom, you'll see there's a statistics tab. So you'll see it automatically calculates the total profit for the entire year. But this was now just July, and it calculates all your wins and losses. But you can then just manually in January let's say in July, you can either say equals sum. So for example, equals sum, click on sum, go to the month, and just highlight all the gain percentages in the column and click enter, and give you a total percentage for that month, or you can just manually calculate it and just type it in. And then you can just look at, okay, 3 wins and 2 losses. Then you can basically just type in 3 wins, 2 losses. And yeah, that's basically how I backtest or test my strategies. And then also at the bottom, you also want to know what your consecutive wins and consecutive losses. So consecutive wins over here so far was 3 wins and only 1 loss. But of course, this data changes the more you go throughout the year, and then you'll figure out, and I would highly recommend going testing an entire year on a pair with your strategy to see if it is really, really profitable. So I hope this helped you, and I hope you learned something out of this, just on the way that I trade a little bit, and just the way that I track my trades. So yeah. So if you saw in this video the way that I trade, and you can see the simple setups I'm looking for, like I nickname the setups that I trade, like a leopard and a rhino and a lion and all those kinds of setups. And the reason being is because it's a psychological thing. You when you name something, you attach a setup to what you call it. So that's why I've done that. And if you would like to learn more on the way that I trade and how these setups exactly form, then remember to check out the link at the bottom at Future Forex Academy. So that's the school where I teach my students how to trade the way that I trade, a very conservative way, a very profitable way of trading, and a very mechanical way of trading. There's not too many things that we look for. We keep it very simple. And if you would like to learn more, go and check us out on courses.futuforexacademy.com. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next YouTube video.